Am I live? Is this happening? I don't know. Okay, I think I am live. I just saw Linda say hi. Hi, Linda. Say hi once you're here, if you are here. I'd love to hear from you guys. Hi, Tara. Hi, Kim. Oh, this is awesome. I'm excited. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Amber. Hi, Milton. Yay, we're all hanging out. This is fun. Okay, cool. Hi, Berna. Okay, tell me what you guys are reading. I want to know. I'll tell you guys what I'm reading. I mean, if it wasn't obvious from the thumbnail, I'm going to be reading My Pages for Anna Karenina. I'm actually behind. I need to read like 80 pages today, so we'll see if that happens. Okay, Tara's reading Puck Me Secretly. Sounds like a hockey romance or something. I think you were talking about this series in your recent book haul. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. The Perfect Daughter. I hope I'm doing this right too, showing the comments and stuff. I was literally watching a how-to stream live on StreamYard video 5 minutes ago. The Perfect Daughter, nice. The Unhoneymooners. I still need to read Christina Lauren in general. I've only read her Filthy Bastard series, I think it's what it's called. Like their old school. Sorry, not her. Their. I know it's a duo, but it's like their earlier like actual like romance books that they started with, and now they're more like contemporary, I know. But let's see, what's Kim reading? The Good Sister and Big Lies in a Small Town. Nice. I don't know if I've heard of either of those books. Maybe I have, but you'll have to let me know what genre they are. Fan fiction for Sanditon? That is awesome. Is it like continuing after season 1? Since I know, hopes are kind of squandered for whether that's going to actually happen. I'm curious. Let's see. A God in Ruins by Kate Atkinson. Oh, nice. I have both Life After Life and that book on my shelves, and I have yet to read anything by her. I know she's well loved. So I need to get to it. It sounds really interesting because I know it's about like this woman that lives her life over and over and over again, and she doesn't know when she's going to die, like set in World War II, if I understand it right. So that's cool. Hamnet. Oh, nice. I know I saw Rainey reading that recently, and she really enjoyed it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know Shakespeare at all. I am the worst, probably read person of Shakespeare. I didn't have to read him in school ever. And then also, I was even an English major for a little bit in college and never had to read him in college. I don't know what kind of education I was getting, but let's see. Oh, Cuckoo's Calling! Yay! I loved that book. I need to read The Silkworm still. It's like front facing on my bookshelves at the top. I don't know if I really show the top of my bookshelves that often, but it's front facing because I know I need to get to it and I'm going to love it. Okay, let's see. Life After Life was more interesting than this one, I have to admit. Okay, I know it's about her brother, right? Like it's her brother's story. Um, yes, a continuation for Sanditon. Nice. That's awesome. I'm trying to remember, did I watch that whole series or did I just start it and then when I figured out it wasn't gonna continue, I decided not to continue? I don't remember. I'm one of those like completionists that like if I know something isn't actually done, I hate starting it. I don't know if any of you guys are the same way, but yeah, I same with like series. Like I'm never gonna read well, just in general, I don't know if I will, but George R. R. Martin, like I just know that series is not it's not gonna finish. It's never gonna finish. So why even start? Uh oh yeah, I've already clicked that one. Let's see. Small Town is by Diane Chamberlain, and I'd say historical fiction. The Good Sister is a thriller. Nice. I have Diane Chamberlain on my shelf, but The Stolen Marriage is the one I have by her. So I haven't read that one. Let's see. Have you watched War and Peace? Oh my gosh, no, but I want to so bad. I've seen the dance scene, the ball scene. That's kind of iconic, I think, for that show. Um, and it was so cinematic and beautiful. And so it makes me really excited to read the book. I'm kind of one of those people though that loves to read the book before I see it. Same with like Anna Karenina. I haven't read or I haven't seen any of the movies because I want to know the story from the book first. So I will pick up War and Peace at some point and then watch the show. Let's see. Season 2 for Sanditon filming in summer need to be confirmed. Oh, really? That would be awesome. I know everyone was stoked about Bridgerton continuing, which I had no doubts about. Once that show like went live and everyone was loving it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna get a season 2 for sure." Well, and I think they also got a season 3. I'm not the most up to date on it, but that would be awesome. That would be huge news too. Let's see. Oh, I got War and Peace a few days ago, and I'm planning to tackle it in May. Yeah, I actually, from reading what I have so far of Anna Karenina, I'm actually way less scared of War and Peace now. Way less scared because at least if the translation is as good as this one is, it's pretty readable, and I've actually really enjoyed how Tolstoy has managed to get me so involved and invested in these characters. He's really good at that. So I'm sure it's the same with War and Peace, if not better. I think War and Peace is like his most prized, most loved novel. So that would be awesome. I definitely want to read it too. I keep debating which edition I want to buy. I was this close to buying the same Penguin Clothbounds version of War and Peace because it was $13 on Amazon. It was on sale. They're usually like 25-ish. So I almost bought it, but then I know there's also this really like floppy paperback version that I've seen as well that's blue, and it's like the most recent publication of War and Peace. So I don't know if it's a new translation or not, but that one is also really pretty. And I love a floppy paperback. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but yeah. So one of those two probably, unless you guys have seen a different edition that is even better, you'll have to let me know. Oh man. How many times have you read Gone with the Wind? Okay. Um, I've only read it twice. So, yeah, I read it once 3 years ago. That was my first time, and then I read it again last year. So, yeah, I love it still though. I wanna keep rereading it maybe every 3 or 4 years. I get so much out of it every time. So, yes. Let's see. Susan says, BBC Andrew Davies War and Peace. Oh, really? Oh, I love Andrew Davies anything. That's awesome. I don't know if I've seen that. Like, I don't think I've seen it or seen it around, I guess. Like, I don't know if I've even seen the cover. So I'll have to look that up. That's cool. I love Andrew Davies so much. I own Anna Karenina, Gone with the Wind, and I'm scared. I would say Gone with the Wind is an easier read, at least in my opinion, than Anna Karenina has been. So if you wanted to start with one or the other. But honestly, if we're talking classics and easy to read classics, I would say Wives and Daughters I read last year, and I was so shocked at how readable it was. So easy to get into and such a good romance that kept going like the whole time and kept me guessing the whole time. So I would recommend that book if you're looking to start with like some big classics. I'm trying to think. Little Women, obviously, like super, super good classic and really readable. It's technically children's literature, so I think it's classified that as what I think. But yeah, that's a really good one too. Oh man. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Tyler. That's crazy. I'm so I love your channel so much, you guys. I have his videos, some of his like my favorite videos of his that he's made in my public playlist called Reading Room Ambiance, and I play most of those videos like at least once a month. If not more. They're like 8 hours long and they're just great. Like he brings in music from, if it's a movie, he brings in the music and then just I don't know, he syncs it in such a good way with sounds and with the actual visuals that it's just awesome. So I highly recommend checking out. If you guys are into like ambiance videos while you're reading, which is like one of my favorite things. I love getting a whole experience when I'm reading. It's awesome. Oh man. Okay, I gotta scroll back up. Let's see. Oh, more importantly, how many different versions do you have? Oh, okay, so they're right here. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'm literally the worst at figuring out where my finger is pointing. But they're back there. Oh yeah, there we go. That's my favorite one. And then I have one other one there. I need to collect more. I see them all the time in bookstores, like different versions, super old school versions. So I probably should go. And there's been one that's been on my Instagram feed, literally like every day, I get this Easton Press super nice leather bound Gone with the Wind that would be cool too. But I think they're like hundreds of dollars. So yeah, not right now. But my most prized book so far now is this version of Pride and Prejudice. Maybe I'll just go grab it. One sec. I'll go grab it. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that wasn't too weird. But yeah, I'm going to show this off in a haul soon too. And I showed it off on Instagram. Wait, let me figure this out. It's the Seasons edition of Pride and Prejudice. And I found it on Mercari for half of what I've ever seen it at before. And I freaked out and bought it right away. These are really hard editions to find in not the most recent publications. So yeah, I was stoked when I saw this. It's like Darcy and Elizabeth facing off, and then there's a fireplace over here, and it says Jane Austen. Oh, I can't point here. I'm like looking at myself, so I should just look at the book. But anyways, yeah, this is my most prized possession book-wise. So yeah, I'm like the blue sprayed edges. It's awesome. Oh, okay. Let's see. I want to read Wives and Daughters. Highly recommend, Kim. I think you'd love it. Let's see. I love North and South too. Oh my gosh, so good. I love Elizabeth Gaskell. I have Cranford I bought for Christmas for myself, and I really want to read that next. Kate Howe talks about Wives and Daughters a lot. Oh, nice. That's awesome. It's a great one. Oh, thank you so much. I am so flattered. Oh, hey, Heather. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I got Tara hooked on this on Ambient Worlds too. His channel is just amazing. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Oh yeah, Bruno, you have to. There's great Harry Potter ones. Those are one of my favorites. And he has a Pride and Prejudice one he just did that is prime. Like if you guys love that soundtrack that is done for the most recent 2005 movie, which I think is literally like a masterpiece. I love everything with that movie. But the music specifically is just beautiful. And so thanks. So I have different versions for shows, films. I like to see the difference. Yeah, same here. Yeah, I'm always comparing movies and books. I don't know, especially with classics. I was actually talking about this with Tara. So I was on Tara's podcast last night. She has a podcast called Read My Lips, and she had me on. I was so flattered, so honored. And she was asking me about classics, and I was telling her that I really love to find classics of movies that I've loved and compare the two. For instance, The Count of Monte Cristo. You guys, the ending, I'm still not over it. I'm not over it. It's fine, but the movie ending is better. And Crystal was right. She commented on my most recent wrap up, and she was like, "I've been waiting 4 months for you to affirm to me that I was right." Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. Hey Tori, thank you. If you guys haven't checked out Tori's channel, you have to. She has awesome content. I love her stuff. She reads romance and historical fiction. So, yeah, she reads a wide variety of genres. So, oh, awesome! Thank you so much. What are you shopping for if you're still here? I'm curious. Oh, Heather says, "Ooh, Pride and Prejudice ambiance. Yes, I have sheet music for all of the soundtrack for the movie. Some of my favorites to play on piano. Oh my gosh, me too. Yeah, I can play Dawn specifically from that soundtrack by heart. Yeah, I have it memorized, and I just love it. I just love it so much. It's so beautiful. That and it's very similar, but it's different. Mrs. Darcy, the end scene, that music is also beautiful. It's a little bit slower, but it's still just gorgeous. I just left an independent bookstore. Awesome. I know it was independent bookstore day. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? I saw it because some of my independent bookstores I follow on Instagram were posting about it. So that's cool. You're celebrating. Oh yeah. So the podcast I did with Tara will be out on Monday. So if you guys wanted to listen in and get the inside scoop. Oh. Can you tell us how you got hooked on romance and when? I'm sure you've already answered this. Oh no, that's good. That was actually one of the questions. So I got hooked on romance. If we're just talking romance in general, I've always loved the classic romances. Like I grew up reading Pride and Prejudice and loved that book. Still my favorite book of all time. And then as I got older, I just wanted to find more. I wanted to find all the love stories. And so, yeah, I started reading. I actually started with, I also covered this in the podcast, but I actually started with Georgette Heyer. She is a historical romance author, older. I think she wrote in like the 40s, 50s, like old school. She's not like old school romance, but anyways, she writes historical romances, very Jane Austen-esque. And so I started with her and really enjoyed her stuff. And then from there, just took a deep dive, I guess. But I would say I am still very much new to a lot of romance. Um, I haven't really gotten into it until like two, 3 years ago, I would guess. I don't know. So there's a lot of things I haven't read, a lot of things. Um, and yeah, I still like to spread my genres too. So I can't read a historical romances like back to back to back to back. Um, I don't know. I have to spice it up with other things. So yeah, long story. Yes, Dawn. I didn't know you play. Yeah, yeah. I love playing piano. It's one of my de-stressors besides reading. That's one of my major ones. I love the classics too, but I love playing movie soundtracks. It's one of my favorite things. Oh, it's today. Okay, cool. Independent Bookstore Day. Awesome. Okay. Find all the different romances too. Yes. I read so many romance subgenres. I need the variety. Yeah. I mean, there are so many out there, and that's what's so cool about romance is there's something for everyone. um, and I don't know if you guys have any romance readers in your like real life, but I don't. And so that was another reason I started the channel was I really wanted to talk about all these books that I've loved and that I don't think I would ever see any of my like family read or anything. So yeah. Oh, hey. Wasn't sure I'd be back in time. Yay! Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I think now that we're 20 minutes into the live, um, I think I'm gonna start my first reading sprint. Um, and we'll just do it for 15 minutes just to, I don't know, just to start it off on something a little bit easier. I don't know how long I'm gonna do the live stream for, but yeah, I thought I'd start with a 15-minute sprint and then we'll come back and chat about what we read. And yeah, I just want to hear what you guys are reading. If you haven't said that in the live in the comments yet, I want to know. But let's see if I can figure out how to post a comment. Let's see. Read until 15 minutes, so 12:48. You guys are gonna laugh if that's not actually. I think it is. Oh, okay. I will see you guys soon. Oh wait, how do I do this? Oh yeah, okay. I'm figuring this all out as we go, so okay. Okay. I'm trying to whisper because I know sometimes it's scary to just suddenly hear somebody talking to you. Anyways, that was a good 15 minutes actually. How did you guys do? What did you read? How far did you get? I want to know. Um, but I read 2 chapters of Anna Karenina, and um, right now they're dealing with all of the repercussions of them having this affair, which is the whole story of this book. Um, and it's so sad. I mean, I don't obviously condone affairs in any way, but um, the inequality of what Anna has to deal with versus Vronsky is insane. um, and it just paints a real light on how hard it was for women of that time. So yeah, it's such an interesting read, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Okay, let's see what you guys got. 2.5 chapters. Nice, Tara. I think that I got around 10% further into the cleaner. Okay, tell me what that is, Heather. I want to know. uh, and Tara, you got to tell me more about this Pucked story. Like, are they, how far are you? Are they together yet? What's going on? Let's see. 1 chapter of Mistborn and more than 1 chapter of First Case. Oh, awesome. You're reading Mistborn? I really loved Mistborn. I read Mistborn and Well of Ascension, and then haven't continued and read. I still need to read Hero of Ages. It's a major goal of mine this year to finish that series, though. It's one of my husband's favorites. He's a major fantasy reader, and he thinks that The Way of Kings, like the Stormlight Archive series, is Brandon Sanderson's best series, like hands down. But he did tell me like Mistborn is a great starting spot for him because Way of Kings is intense. And I thought Mistborn was intense. Like I struggle with fantasy just because of the magic systems and stuff. I don't know why. My brain is just like not there. But yeah, I love Elend specifically. Like Vin and Elend are the whole reason I love that series. And that's how it is for most fantasy for me. Like if there's not a great couple that I can like ship the whole time, I don't even want to bother. Oh man, okay, tons of comments. Let's see. 23 pages of Good Sister. Nice, Kim. Nice. That's a lot. I read very slowly too. I don't know what everyone else's reading paces are, but yeah, I read very slowly. So if I can get 1 or 2 chapters done in 15 minutes, it's pretty good for me. Anna Karenina is too sad for me. Yeah, it is a tragedy. Yeah, it's really sad. I know it doesn't end well either, so yeah. 15 pages of Lord of the Nile by Constance O'Banion. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Constance O'Banion wrote a book I own, Texas Proud. I remember that specifically because the cover is awesome. And she has amazing covers, amazing romance covers. Like every time there's a cover last Friday, I feel like I can find her in my feed. So you'll have to let me know if you like her writing and like if the content is there too. I gotta know. Okay, let's see. The cleaner works for the fixer, so they literally take care of murder scenes, etc. He's OCD because of PTSD, so he cleans the crime scenes, and she's a true crime podcaster. Wow, that's really interesting. Really cool. Okay. Sorry, I was having a glass of wine. No, not. You don't have to be sorry for that. Nice. White or red? This is Lily. Lily's coming to say hi. Whoa, sliding off my my chair. My laptop is perched precariously on my armchair, like arm. So, anyways, yeah, Lily's saying hi. Okay, let's see. 15 pages of A God in Ruins, and then came to checkpoint for our buddy read and stopped. Oh, awesome! Who are you budding reading it with? Is it with I know Tia from Tia and All the Books. She was hosting a big buddy read of the first book, Life After Life. So I'm curious if it's those same people or if it's other people who you're budding reading with. She doesn't know it's him, but she's caught on to how clean / the scent of the cleaner used for some of his scenes. So she thinks there's a serial killer. This sounds really intense. I don't think I could do it. I watched what was that show that my husband made me watch with him? It was this like serial killer show, not reality or like, you know, any documentary. It was like oh my gosh. If you guys know the super famous, he's like he's a police officer by day and then he's like a serial killer by night. I can't remember the title of the show, but everyone loves it. It was good, but it was so dark. Oh my gosh, I had to close my eyes a lot watching that show. Let's see, Dexter. Oh yes, everyone's Dexter. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, okay, Tara. Let's see. So the couple were in a plane crash together, survived, and had a night of passion. Then later on, they came across each other in a workplace scenario. He's a hockey player. Ooh. And she's the GM's daughter. He's a babe. Wow. That's cool. The whole plane crash scenario. I wonder why, like, sometimes I wonder how much plot you need for something. Like I'm like, okay, wait, how does the plane crash add to it? I guess I don't know. Like that's interesting, you know, because there's probably enough conflict as it is. But I'm curious. White, nice, very nice. Tia and Veronica from V Reads and Rambles, who does not make videos anymore. Oh, I was gonna say I haven't heard of her channel, but that's cool. Nice. I love Tia. I love her channel. If you guys are historical fiction readers, she's a great one. Yeah, I love her channel. Let's see. It's not that intense. Balancing romantic suspense and a happy couple. Oh, that's good. That's good. Because yeah, I feel like you could go really dark with that kind of subject. So it's good that it's not that crazy. Like the most recent book that me and Tara attempted to read was dealing with really hard subjects, and it was not done well. And oh my gosh, it was so bad. The V Girl is the book I'm talking about. Do not recommend. But I'm glad that it's not that intense and that she's doing a good job. That's really hard to do sometimes. So yeah, everyone's saying Dexter. A million people are saying Dexter. Yeah, that show was wild. I don't know. I'm so easily creeped out. Me too. Yeah, I can't. With some shows, like, I'm also very queasy. Like I have a major phobia of needles. I have a major, not phobia, but I just get super nauseous about anything medical related. So, yeah, I struggle with stuff like that. Like right now I'm watching The Americans, which I think I mentioned on my Friday Reads video I just did, but there are some really intense, like gross, like grotesque scenes in there that I can't watch. Just have to close my eyes for, but the romance is worth it. So I keep watching. She makes a confession when the plane is going down that she's never had an and after they survived, he delivers. Interesting. So you gotta get a plane crash to admit that? Well, but wow. Sounds really intense, but also really good. No to the B girl. Yeah, Tara. We gotta do another buddy read to recover from that nightmare. What were we talking about that we wanted to read together? I mean, there are so many things, but we still need to read the Cardinal Sins too. Yeah, that's on my top 12 books, so it has to be read. So we need to do it. And I think I saw Serafina on Instagram. She hauled the Cardinal Sins. I saw it in her bag of books, and I was like, "Hey." Oh. Yeah. Don't feel like feeling stressed out about your hobby. For sure. Same here. Reading should not be stressful at all. Don't ever think that you should be stressed out about your reading. That's for sure. Uh, but I don't like gore gruesome. Gotcha. I agree. It's a very deep story. That's awesome, Tara. I'm glad. Wallflower Wager. That's what it was. Yeah. I haven't read that book yet. I read The Governess Game. And so I need to continue in the series. And that's the next one. We'll read it together. I'm actually really excited about that one because I know it has to deal with animals. And so, as an animal lover myself, I think it's going to be great. But let me know if you guys have read that book. It's the next book that I need to read from Tessa Dare. So, and then I know she's coming out with another one soon. I mean, I'm not as up to date as most romance readers. See, like I'm like, I know it's coming out soon. That's one thing. I'll ask you guys this, because I like asking you guys questions too. Are you more of a backlist type of reader, or do you like reading the new releases as they come out? Because I just have kind of accepted the fact that I'm not a new release person. Like I don't know if I'm ever going to request arcs. I just when they come out, if there's something that I'm really excited about, then I'll pre-order it, like I did with Amy Harmon's new book. But it's kind of like I don't really keep up with the times, like I feel like most booktubers do. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm just curious if you guys keep up, or what you guys do about recent reads versus backlist titles. I'm always down for some clergy love. Oh yes. Although, what was funny was Krista had her live a couple nights ago, and she was celebrating, was it 5 years on BookTube, I think? And she was going through all of the books she's read, and she got to the Thornbirds, and I already knew that she didn't like the Thornbirds. But she was like, Melissa, I'm so sorry if you're on this live, which I was. But she's like, yeah, I just hated the fact that this was with a priest. And I was just laughing. Yes. If you guys didn't know, if I haven't prefaced that book enough, that it is a like priest romance that's at the center of it, I guess. But it's way more historical fiction and more of like an epic multi-generational tale than like a romance. Like, yeah, it's a lot going on with it, but I loved it. Okay. I love Tessa Dare. Backlist for sure. Yeah, same. Backlist reader for sure. Yes. Backlists are current. I mostly read my favorite authors, not really hyped releases. Yeah, that's good, because like that's how I am with new releases too. Like I really am only excited about new releases if it's from an author that I love and that I'm really excited about. So yeah. Tracy, hi. Backlist, yes. Okay, let's see. I pre-order. Oh wait, how did I not click that? Whoops. I pre-order but never read straight away. Same. Yeah, I just ordered Yeah, I just pre-ordered Songbook of Benny Lament and haven't picked it up, but it's there for me when I want to read it. I think I'm gonna pre-order. Well, I don't know if it's not too late. It comes out in May, but I really want to read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I know so many people have already got that book from Book of the Month, but like I said, I don't really like, I'm not a huge new release type person. So I don't have Book of the Month because I just don't keep up. I know I would be canceling a lot. I don't know. I can't keep up. And I know I would just have a whole shelf full of them. So, but I know a ton of people that got that book early because I think it's actually released in May, like May 5th or something. But a ton of people I've seen haul that book. So I really want to read it though. It sounds so good. Um, they say it's like When Harry Met Sally-esque, and it's about two friends that meet up every year and go on vacation, and then something happens, a fall away, I think, and then they come back together. And I love When Harry Met Sally. I love anything Nora Ephron, anything. I was actually gushing about uh oh my gosh, I was literally just like my brain just left the building. Oh my gosh, You've Got Mail. Wow. I was literally gushing about You've Got Mail on Instagram and just saying how much I love that movie so much. The screenplay is amazing. I really want to like, if there was some way for that screenplay to be in a book format, I would buy it. But yeah, so anyways, if it's a book of like When Harry Met Sally, I am so down for that. That would be awesome. Okay. I read One Dance with a Duke by Tessa Dare and really liked it. It's the first book in the uh, something standard club. I don't know. Trilogy. Okay, cool, Milton. That's awesome. I actually don't know. Have I heard of that book? I feel like, is it older? Is it one of her older ones? I think it might be. Let's see. I rarely never read arcs because I DNF mood read. So I don't want to be committed to anything. Same. Yeah. I mean, I set a TBR, but it's kind of based on my mood. And I just would hate to feel pressured into writing a review and making sure I'd analyze the book correctly before release date. And it would just be a lot of pressure that I don't know if I could deal with. I don't even have like a NetGalley login or anything. So just bought Thornbird's TV show. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. It's really old. It's like the 70s or something when they made it. I think you can watch it on YouTube, but that's awesome that you can buy it and just watch it at home whenever. Yeah, it's really good. I would recommend the book too, but they're both good. LOL, Heather is cutthroat with the DNFs. You know what? We only got so much time in the day for reading, so you gotta be loving the books you're reading. I've been a lot more cutthroat this year with reading. If you guys haven't noticed, I've DNF'd something every single month. At least one thing, if not more. So yeah, I'm getting a lot more particular because I really do only have like on a given day, especially weekdays, I only have maybe 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours to read. So I just want to dedicate my time to what I can really, really enjoy and not something that I'm just going to kind of give maybe 3 stars, but probably more like a 2. If it's leaning towards a 2-star, I'm just going to DNF it. So yeah, it's my philosophy at least. Okay, I got to catch up. Oh my goodness. Heavily indie romance reader, and there's not as much hype about their releases. They don't announce them. Yeah, that's true too. It's hard to get the word out with those. So, but that's awesome that you do that, Heather. Hi, I'm late. Yeah, well, welcome, Tracy. Welcome. Both depends on author. Yeah, for sure. Like I know I've seen a ton of people reading Kristen Hanna's new release, The Four Winds, which I totally understand because she's such a good author. And so everyone's just so excited about her new release and actually has got so good praise from everyone I've seen. So yeah. definitely. Mostly backlist books because they're easy for me to find them. Oh yeah, for sure, in the library. Yeah, that's true too. I've actually been surprised though when I go on Libby and search for new releases. Um, at least I have 2 cards on my Libby app. So I have one in Seattle and one in Arizona. And I can have pretty good luck finding books that are new releases on audio, for instance. But usually it's maybe like a 2-week wait time, but that's not bad compared to like a lot of I feel like a lot of people I've heard say that like a new release on audio in their Libby app is like, 6 months or something crazy like that. I don't know. It's so dependent on the county you live in, so or the city. That's really hard. I love beach reads, so I added Emily Henry as an author that I wanted to keep reading. Yeah, same. I really love beach read too. I think the points that a lot of people bring about it being a lot more hard hitting than the cover makes it seem, and that it's not, it deals with a lot of like deeper issues is true. But I actually really loved that about the book. I thought it was just really, it had a lot of layers. So I really love that book too. Can't wait to read People We Meet on Vacation. I love You've Got Mail, film and music. Oh my gosh. It's not soundtrack. You don't call it soundtrack. Is it soundtrack? Yeah. What am I talking about? I was going to say score, but the soundtrack for You've Got Mail is so good. I love it. Like, I think I've listened to that whole soundtrack on repeat. I don't even know how many times. There's certain songs on that soundtrack too that I'll listen to just to like reminisce about how great that movie is. Like the song that plays, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. The song that plays when Joe Fox is going to Kathleen's door to give her flowers when she's sick, give her daisies. And it's like the start of the third act where like, okay, now they're going to be friends. Now they're going to come together. And he's like, kind of making his way into her life again. Oh, I could go on and on about how great that song is, especially for like that moment. Okay. Oh man. I wrote a 10-page paper on You've Got Mail, just on how amazing the story is and how great the cinematography and the writing screenplay is as well. So anyways, I could just go on and on about You've Got Mail so much. I read a memoir of Nora Ephron many years ago and it was really good. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I know she has is the memoir Heartburn, the one with the fork cover? I know it's by her. I think it's a fictional story though, but it's by Nora Ephron and I need to find it. I need to find it, that's for sure. Stud Club type. Oh, got it. Okay. It's from 2010. Okay. Yeah, so that Tessa Dare is an older release. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's an older show, but it's still good. Still love it. I love old school shows too. The only reason I need to do a book is I feel like it. LOL. Yep. Totally valid. Totally valid. Oh. I DNF 3 books this month. Oh, I'm sorry you're having a rough reading month, Berna. It's like, I don't know what it is about DNFing books back to back. That's what happened for me in March. And it was just so depressing because I had probably invested a week's worth of my time reading both of those books. And so to have to DNF both of them and kind of just like start all over. Ooh. So I'm sorry that happened. What Audible would you listen to during the day? So during the day when I'm working, if I feel like listening to an audiobook, I'll listen to historical romances usually because they're very, for the most part, they're very formulaic and the plot is going in a certain direction. And so it's a lot easier for me to just tune in and while I'm typing or doing other things for me to listen to it. So that's what I listen to during the day, like during my work days. But actually, I'm not like always listening to audiobooks when I'm working because I really like listening to music while I work. it's just one of those things. I don't know. I can't listen to an audiobook for like hours on end. I don't know. There's certain people that can do that, you know, where the whole 8 hours that they're working in a day, they can just keep listening to an audiobook. Yeah, I don't have the attention span for that. So yeah, I have to spice it up. About every hour, I have to spice it up with something else I'm listening to. So certainly inspired me. I need to DNF more. Yeah, Tara, just DNF when you aren't feeling it. The power of DNFing. I do give it a fair shot, though. I will say that DNFing. If I'm gonna DNF, someone told me, who was it? Was it Becca from Hicks Picks Books? She was saying you take your age and double it, and that's the amount of pages you should read before you DNF. And for me, that would not be enough. I can't do math in my head, so this it's not going to work out. But anyways, I need to give my books at least like 100-ish to 150 pages before I decide, okay, because the plot could go in a way that I like. I don't know. Yeah, I just have to give it a right amount of time first, but except for V Girl. Oh, I could tell right away. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna like this. And so then I got 2 chapters in and it's over. Oh man. That's so funny. You do not have the patience. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Have you ever decided to keep going with a book and then it was worth it? I'm curious. That's happened with me a couple times where I was like, I don't know if I like this. And then I kept going and then it turned itself around. I don't know if I've ever had it go from I don't like this to a 5-star, but yeah. So, okay. So there's some questions that some people were asking on various formats that I thought I would answer really fast. So Susan asked, what is my favorite historical romance? And so obviously Pride and Prejudice is my favorite book of all time. And if you consider that a historical romance, then that would be my answer. But if we're talking, the genre historical romance, something you could find in the romance section of the bookstore, I don't know how to define, you know what I mean? Then I would say so far, honestly, my favorite historical romance has been Morning Glory by Lavril Spencer. I don't know. I just loved it. That experience of reading that book, it was just everything I love about historical romance, where you have this love story that is super, super slow burn, and you really get to know each of the characters so well, and they're so well thought out. And then I also love like an external conflict. So for Morning Glory, it's actually set in World War II. And so yeah, they have this war going on, and I just love having something outside of their own little world happening to them to create the like underlying issues. So I love that, and I love the writing too. That's something I'm also very I place highly on my list, is if the writing is really well done. So yeah, and all 3 of those points it hit, and it was a 5-star read for me, and I still just love it. But yeah, that's a recent one. But I do love Georgette Heyer too. I mean, that's like throwing it back. But yeah, that would be my thing. Let's see. So good. Just the best. I need to do a reread. I think for Jane Austen July, I'm either going to read a reread of Pride and Prejudice, or I feel like a fake fan because I have not read Mansfield Park or Northanger Abbey. I have not read those books yet, or Sanditon. So Or Love and Friendship. Oh my gosh. I've read Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion, Emma, Sense and Sensibility, but I need to continue and read the other books. So if there's one of those that I just listed that you think I should read first and read during Jane Austen July, let me know. But yeah, I love her. Love Jane Austen so much. Let's see. I just read my first historical romance in years. It was Mr. Malcolm's List. Mr. Malcolm's List. Okay, what is that story? I want to know. If you gave it 5 stars, now I have to look it up on Goodreads. Mr. Malcolm's List by Suzanne Elaine. Is that it? You'll have to let me know. That's awesome. I am all for external conflicts versus internal. Give me a happy couple in less than an ideal setting. Oh, yes. Yes. And especially if it's something like if the conflict is something that's they couldn't control themselves. You know what I mean? Like a war is happening, or they're from different religions, or something like that. It's just my favorite. I love it. And something that, like, you know, prevents them from being together, or something where they just feel like once the actual, you know, climax of them getting together is happening, it's just magnificent. Oh man, I need to read more classics, but they're usually so long and I get bored. Yeah, I totally get that. And that's why I'm scared to read some authors that are classics, because I think I would get bored for sure. Like Dickens. I haven't read any Charles Dickens. I have Our Mutual Friend by him, and I've seen the miniseries of that, and that's why I bought the book, because I loved the miniseries. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely certain classics that I feel like are very hard to get into. So yeah, I prefer Northanger Abbey over Mansfield Park. Okay, good to know, Brenna. That's really good to know. I think Northanger Abbey is even thinner as well than Mansfield Park. I feel like it's one of the thinner novels. So, and it's one of her more gothic novels, from what I understand. So, it's a little darker, I think. Okay, someone else is saying Northanger Abbey as well. Okay, great. I think I have well, I know I have all of her main novels on that little, like, colorful pastel color here stack. And Northanger Abbey is definitely among those. So it would be really easy for me to read. But many readers disagree. I'm sure everyone, you know, always comments on what's the best Austen. I think from a, like, literary criticism standpoint, a lot of people say Emma is her best work, but I don't think so. Anyway, Mr. Malcolm's List is being made into a film. Awesome. That's great. Do people still read Barbara Cartland? I don't know that author, so I don't know if I could tell you. What does she write? What genre is she in? Let's see. I just picked up Mr. Malcolm's List from the library. Happy to hear it's good. Nice. Is it a newer release then? Or is it older? All of Jane Austen, but I don't remember much about the ones that I didn't grow up on the movies for. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because I feel like there's certain stories that you're just never going to forget. So I haven't seen any of the TV adaptations for any of the novels that I mentioned that I haven't read. Well, besides Sanditon, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to go into a novel not knowing. You know what I mean? Not knowing the movie tie-in. Suzanne Elaine, he makes a list of the perfect bride, and someone finds out about it and brings in a girl to be the perfect girl and then spurn him. The plan goes wrong, of course. It's funny. Oh, that does sound really good. I love a funny historical. I think Tessa Dare does that amazingly. Like, she is so funny, so witty. So if you can find an author that's like super funny or witty, it just brings everything in, and I love it. I love a really witty author. That's what I feel like is sometimes lacking in other like historical romances, where they're too serious and they don't know that people are going into these novels like wanting for a little bit of lightheartedness. I don't know. I know that maybe people will disagree and say, hey, like, I want to go into this historical romance, really getting into it, into the nitty gritty. But at least for my taste, I love to have a little bit of wittiness and humor. So, LOL, no comment on Dickens. Oh my gosh, Tara, that's so funny. Yeah, Tara tried to read, well, maybe she doesn't want me to say this, but whatever. She tried to read A Christmas Carol during Christmas last year, and she was saying how hard it was to get into. And yeah, so I know his writing isn't for everybody. Oh my goodness. The best Austen for me is Persuasion, closely followed by Pride and Prejudice. Lots of people love Persuasion. I really like Persuasion too. It's not my favorite, but it is an amazing story. And I love Captain Wentworth. He is such an unsung hero. So unsung. Like, I wish that he was more of a favorite hero of all time type of person, but he is in my book. He's great. And he's so dedicated to Anne. Like, oh, the letter at the end. Iconic. Iconic. Okay. Prefer my Dickens through a Muppets lens. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. Christmas Carol Muppets, hands down. Same with Treasure Island, like we were saying. Yeah, Muppets Treasure Island, also amazing. So good. Barbara Cartland is a UK writer from 60s, 70s, 80s. Okay, cool. I'll have to look her up. I haven't heard of her, but that's cool. Cartland and Georgette Heyer were my first Regency romances. Aw, same with Georgette Heyer. So now I really want to know Barbara Cartland or Carlin. Sorry, I keep saying it wrong, maybe, but that's cool if it's the same, vibe. That's exciting. Gets on my nerves. Yes, yeah, she's a very unique character that like takes some getting used to, and she's honestly such a pill. But Mr. Knightley has such patience for her, so it works out in the end. But I could never be like her, where I'm like trying to like, slyly hint at who people should be with, or make sure people, or I guess see other people through your own eyes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So the main female character in Malcolm's List is the daughter of a vicar. Hey! Still, that's awesome. That's as close to a priest romance as this one has. Hey, that's so cool. Oh man. Yes, to freaking Captain Wentworth. Yeah. Yeah. Iconic. And this cover of Persuasion that I got right here, I'll grab it because I'm a good person, and I'll show you guys an awesome cover. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, this cover, let me figure this out, is so cool. It's like shiny too, but it's got Anne and Captain Wentworth like holding hands. If you can't tell, oh my gosh, how come I can't point? They're holding hands. It's a moment. It is a moment captured, and I just love this cover so much. I think it's so cool. And it says, there could have been no two hearts so open, no tastes so similar, no feelings so in unison, no countenances so beloved. Oh, yeah. Persuasion is amazing. I'll agree with that. Oh. I was surprised and a bit nostalgic seeing all of those old school romances on your shelves. My mom and aunts used to read a lot of those books and swap them by the box full all of the time. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love old school romances. They're my preferred romance time period, I guess, genre. I just love them. That was actually one of the questions I was going to answer. Someone asked me, um, how did you get interested in vintage romance books and what especially calls you to books with stepbacks? And I was thinking about that a lot actually because um, I think the reason that I like the old school ones is specifically like in the 70s, there was this resurgence of multi-generational epic tales. And anyways, with that also it trickled into the romance as well. And so you have these just epic stories, multicast, huge books. I don't know what it is, but just like that idea is so awesome. And so I'm always kind of trying to find more of those kind of books. And that's usually typically found in the more old school type of books. So that's what I love about them. And then obviously too, stepbacks. Obviously stepbacks are still a thing now. They're different in their art and how they're portrayed, but yeah, stepbacks are such a thing back then too, and they're just so beautiful. I mean, everyone's obsessed with them, but yeah, they're amazing. I wish they were more popular, like even with like historical fiction. Oh man, we could get like a step back trend going with historical fiction. That would be so awesome. I would love that because it also I am one who struggles. This is weird, but I'm one who struggles with imagining characters in my head if I don't have something from real life to base it off of. And so, like, I'm always casting people in my head when I read. Like, I'll be like, oh, this person would make a great this or that character. And so, or if I have a picture of them on the cover, then I know what I'm picturing. I don't know. And I know stepbacks are sometimes not very representational of the actual characters, but it really helps my brain to like kind of imagine what the author was going for. Um, I guess I don't have a huge imagination. I don't know what it is, but I really do have to like relate it to someone I know in real life or something I've seen in real life. So yeah. Okay. Have you read any Judith McNaught or Roseanne Bittner? Oh my gosh. So I am starting Roseanne Bittner and I'm loving it. And I am so excited to keep going. Judith McNaught, I just picked up another Judith McNaught the other day and I have yet to read her. So she's one that I have multiple books for and still haven't read, but want to. Kingdom of Dreams for sure was on the list. So it has to happen. So dang pretty. Pretty pastel Austens. You can find those at Costco, Heather. Yeah, they're there. I don't know if it's at certain times. I think my family got them for Christmas, but yeah, you can find them at Costco. There's also the same kind of print of the Brontes, so you can find kind of the same like tiny books of the Brontes too. It's cool. Yeah, so good. So good. Brian Campton Webber is the best letter writer ever. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that has to go down as the most iconic letter a character has ever written. At least in my opinion, I have never read one better. I think what comes close is probably the letters written in Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society. That's like a letter writing story. What is that called? I literally just lost it. It's a certain word. I'm blanking, but yeah, the letters in there are also very beautiful. If you're looking for like a more if you're looking for more letters, I guess. TV show, yes. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for joining. UK doesn't have step backs. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. Visualize settings. The mansion on the hill has a pointy mountain in my head. Yeah, I totally relate to that. Yeah, there's just certain things in novels that I struggle imagining in my head, and characters is one, but settings I can usually imagine pretty well. But yeah, I totally agree. That's a good one. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Roseanne Bittner's had a lot of republishing, really pretty covers. I love all of her covers. So okay, let's do one more sprint, and then I'll come back, and then we'll talk, and then call it a stream. But okay, let's go from 125 now till 140 again. I guess we'll just do the same cycle, 15 minutes. So yeah, let me know how it goes, and let me know what you're reading if you haven't yet. I want to know, but that's the plan. Okay. How did it go? What did you guys read? How far did you get? I read maybe, I don't know, 10 pages or something of Anna Karenina. And yeah, she's learning a lot about Vronsky right now. And yeah, it's no good. I didn't like him when I first started reading this book, and it's just being more affirmed the longer I go. He's not a very likable character, that's for sure. But there are likable characters in this story that have so far had happy endings or are going to, I hope. So that's good. Let's see. Reading A Separation by Katie Kitamura. I like the unstructured writing style. It got bad reviews, but I'm enjoying the mystery. A man leaves his wife, goes missing, and the wife is looking for him. Nice. Nice. Unstructured writing style. That's cool. And you know what? You can't always trust reviews, as I've seen too. So it's not always telling. I'm on chapter 28 of Thunderhead. Oh, nice. That's cool. I know so many people love that series, Scythe, right? I've seen it around. I even know, like, I think Krista from Books and Jams really likes that series too, and Tia, I believe, and Amanda from the Curly Reader. I think they all three like that series, so I know it's really popular. That's awesome. 5% still, Heather. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Congrats on 1K. I'm reading from Luke Off with Love. Yay! I love that story. I listened to it on audio and it was amazing. I know the guy that plays Luke Off in it is a very famous audio narrator for a lot of romances. I can't remember his name, something Parker, I think, or something like that. But anyways, I love that story, and I love how slow burn Mariana Zapata's writing is. I really want to read her new book coming out, or maybe it just came out. All Roads Lead Here, I think is what it's called. Sounds really good. So yeah, that's on my TBR for a new release too. So there's another one. 1.5 chapters. Nice, Tara. An evil woman is trying to get between our hero and heroine. No, the femme fatale. Oh, that's the worst. I'm sorry. We know it'll end well, so it's fine. I started reading a short story from a vintage mystery and detective short stories collection, The Dollar Chasers. Wow, that sounds awesome. That sounds like something Steve Donahue would love. I've been obsessed with his videos lately, and I know he's obsessed with short stories and anthologies and stuff like that. So, but that sounds really good. I can't think of a short story collection I've read. I don't know if I've read any actually. So I know I own one historical anthology that's I don't know if you call them short stories, but it's just a bunch of like novella type length stories called Scottish Brides. I own that, and it's got a ton of really, really prolific historical romance authors. I think it's got like Julia Quinn on there. Who else does it have? I think it has Karen Rainey. Yeah, just a ton of them. So it's on the list. 7 pages of Cuckoo's calling, and the cops just found a body with Strike's card on them. Ooh, that's great. You'll have to watch the show if you haven't watched it, Milton, once you're done. I think it's the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes of the first. No, it's just the first season. But it's the whole first season, and it's really good. It's called Strike, by the way. It does a really good job of kind of doing the same storyline of the book, so that's good. I was crying a lot when I was reading Karenina. Oh, yeah, it's really so sad. I rarely cry in books. I have cried in maybe a handful, like less than maybe 4 or 5 books in the course of my lifetime. I guess I'm just heartless. I don't know. Same with movies. I can list the movies I've actually cried in. Like I already know what they are, but yeah, so I'm not a huge crier, but I do get very emotionally attached to characters and feel for them. Listen to one chapter of Voyager. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I know a ton of people are keeping up with that Discord readathon of Outlander. So I am ready to join the chat once you guys get to Fiery Cross in June, I think is when it's happening. I'm gonna join and we're gonna do it and it's gonna be great. And then I can finally watch season 5. I haven't continued and I need to. I feel like I I need to continue so that I don't get spoiled because I know season 6 is coming soon or something, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it needs to happen. So June it will happen for sure. Susan D, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. I'm reading the Jane Austen Society. Oh, guys, such a good one. I'm so glad you're reading that. If you guys like audiobooks, it's an amazing audiobook narrated by Richard Armitage. And if you're at all a fan of Jane Austen's works, you have to read it. It was so cozy and it was a 4.5-star read for me. I just loved it. And it follows 5 different characters who all are a part of this society to preserve Jane Austen's works and her life. And they come from all different paths and walks of life, and they come together in her hometown. And there's this romance that's in it that I was so rooting for between this like country doctor and this young widow. I don't know how much of an age gap it really was. I think maybe 15 years or something, but I was so rooting for that the whole time. And so, yeah, it's so good. Love it. I've read the whole Outlander series at least 3 times. Oh my gosh. Wow. So happy to hear the next book finally has a release date this fall. Yeah, I mean, that is awesome. I commend you because those are thick books. It's just huge. I am definitely not going to be able to get to the most recent book before it comes out. I read them and then I have to take a break and read other things. And so I usually am reading maybe 2 of them a year, 3. So yeah, it's kind of a very slow but steady series that I love. I absolutely love it. And Tara was talking to me about how she hated Roger in the TV series, but in the books, I love him so far. He is my favorite character. I don't know if that's sacrilege to say that Jamie isn't my favorite character, but Roger is my favorite character. Oh, I wish I could see the show, but it's on a streaming service that I don't have, so I'll have to miss it. Oh, yeah, I know it's kind of tough to find those British shows sometimes. I think I subscribed to whatever streaming service it was offering on Prime, like on Amazon Prime Video. And then you know how you can do like a week of a free trial with whatever service, and then I think I binged it and then canceled it. So there's a secret if you're trying to find it. Oh, I love Outlander. Same. So good. Second Outlander. Nice, Milton. I know you love the first one, so I'm sure you'll love the second one. Although the second one I think is harder to get into because the setting is different and it's just it's just not the same. I don't know. I think some people can probably agree with me that the second book, the setting for most of the book is pretty boring. I thought so at least. I was like, okay, I'm ready to move on. I just started watching the show. I'm 3 episodes in. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's awesome. Of Outlander, I'm assuming is what you're talking about. You're probably going to binge it and you're going to fall down a rabbit hole that you're not going to be able to escape from. I do like that I'm reading them like season by season based on the books though, because it helps me not to binge it, you know, not get caught up in that. But I know so many other people that binge it. So I enjoy your channel and the different types of books you read. Oh, thank you so much, Susan. I appreciate that. I actually was going to ask you guys, that was one of my questions I wanted to ask everyone else was what genre do you read? Or genres, if you have more than one. I'm just so curious, kind of what people either watch me for or love to read themselves. So let me know, because I know I have probably a lot of romance readers here, and then I know I have some like historical fiction or classic readers here as well. So I'm just kind of curious. There was a question from Tara as well as Milton, who they had similar questions. Oh no, they're different questions. What am I thinking? I'll do Milton's and then I'll do Tara's. Milton's was, if you could relive reading one book for the first time all over again, what book would it be? Ooh, um, I think for me that would probably be. I think it would be the Thornbirds. Um, the experience of me finishing the Thornbirds, I actually finished it in Italy. I was reading it when we were visiting these tiny towns. It's what is it called? I literally just spaced on the name of the tiny towns that they're called. Cinque Terre. Yeah. And so I was reading it on the beach of one of these tiny towns, and it was surreal. Surreal. It was so cool. I don't know what it was about being in that setting and then finishing this amazing story, but if I could relive that, that would be great. I don't know if any of you guys have been to Cinque Terre, but if you haven't, it is the most beautiful place I've ever been. It is so pretty. It's these tiny 5 towns, is what it is in Italian. So 5 towns on the coast, and you can go to each of them on a hike through each of them, and or you can take the train. It's so beautiful. And then Tara had a question: what book world would you love to live in? And immediately I thought of the Wizarding World, Harry Potter, like hands down, an amazing, amazing world. I think we could all agree that that would be so cool to live in. I don't even care if I was a muggle. I would just love to live in Harry Potter's world. And if I was a witch, even better. Oh, I love Roger too, but Jamie is still my favorite. Yeah. I mean, he's great. Oh, Roger. Boo. John Gray is everything. There are some John Gray stands out there, though. I know that too. And that's why he has that whole spin-off series, is because he's such a loved character. He's got so much layers. So, but yeah, Tara ships John Gray and Jamie. Outlander end of season series 3 is my favorite. Oh yeah, yeah. I love that ending too. So good, so good. Yeah, the second Outlander book was hard to read at times. Just kind of slow, and I don't know why, but I just didn't find France that interesting. Love the first Outlander book. Sort of like the second book. Cannot wait to start reading the third one. Yeah, I really loved the third one. It takes a turn that I was not expecting, and it was so fun. I really enjoyed it. But the fourth book is my favorite, hands down. 5 stars. Loved it. Dragonfly and Amber is the best so far. Maybe that's because there's a lot more Roger and Brianna in it. It's good. Modern and historical romance. Okay, let's see. I read a lot of genres, but historical fiction is probably my favorite. Occasional romance is a bit of a guilty pleasure. Yeah, gotcha. Historical fiction is amazing. Yeah. Romance with a history of reading fantasy, classics, nonfiction, and historical fiction. Oh, nice, Heather. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious what your favorite fantasy is then. Yeah, I'm curious. And historical fiction, if you have a favorite. Oh, is that near Amalfi? Amalfi is more southern, from what I understand. I'm really bad at geography, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But Cinque Terre is a little more north, but yeah. still so pretty. I like most genres. Historical fiction, mystery, and romance are my favorite three. Yes, Berna, you read so widely. It's awesome. I love your reading taste. It's so varied and you have such good insight. If you guys haven't checked out Berna's channel, I highly recommend. She's Turkish too, and so she's just amazing. I really love her channel. You know what? It's okay, Ginger. We can still be friends. Oh, that's funny. Um, Historical romance, British thrillers, and mysteries. I watch your channel for the book conversation because you're a very kind person. Aw, thank you so much. That's so sweet. But that's awesome. You'll have to tell me your favorite British thriller. I'm curious. I love British written anything, so yeah, I'm curious. Oh wow, that sounds so awesome. I'm glad you had so much fun. Yeah, it was the best trip I've ever been on. Yeah, for sure. Or I've been to Thailand as well, and that was a really cool trip, a huge eye-opening experience. So those two are my favorite. But Cinque Terre, so nice. Historical fiction is my favorite. Yes, Kim. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I really want to read a ton more historical fiction. It's one of those genres I always give 4 or 5 stars to. So I know it's one of my favorites and I just need to keep going with it. And I've recently got really into historical fiction audiobooks. And so right now I'm listening to The Flight Girls and then I have The Last Time We Said Goodbye, I think is what it's called, next. So I'm getting more acclimated into historical fiction, listening to it. So it's going well. We did Amalfi Coast and it was gorgeous. Oh, nice, Tara. Yeah, Italy's so pretty. One of my all-time favorite fantasy series is The Queen's Thief. Oh, cool. I don't know if I've ever heard of The Queen's Thief. I don't read a lot of fantasy, so that wouldn't surprise me. But I want to look it up now. The Queen's Thief. I'm looking it up on my phone. Is it YA or is it normal, like adult fantasy? The Thief. Oh, nice. Yeah, that looks really good. When I do get in the fantasy mood, I have a couple on my list that I want to pick up, but I'm kind of getting more into the mood now. Like I think I want to pick up a fantasy soon. I like to read fantasy in the summer. I know most people like to read it in the winter, but I like to read it when it's really warm outside. I don't know why. What would you recommend for my daughters to begin finding a passion for reading? My daughter loves fantasy. She is 10 years old. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is tough. I don't read a lot of middle grade. I'm more of an adult reader, but I would say that anything fantasy wise, I have heard that Sweep is really good. It's a middle grade. I think it's a little fantastical if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to come up with other things that is like kind of like middle grade fantasy. That's a really tough subject for me. I don't read hardly any. Obviously, Harry Potter. I mean, that's an easy choice. Um, I I would say like maybe not at 10, but maybe at like 15. Um, Twilight, an amazing. No, I honestly do love Twilight, and like that was what got me into reading when I was a teenager. I hated reading, going to school. That's all, I just read classics and stuff, and I just wasn't really into it. And then Twilight blew up, and I read it, and I have not stopped since. So I think a lot of people can credit that book for really starting them into loving reading. I know it's had its better days, and I don't know, but but maybe not for a 10-year-old. So that's where I'm trying to think of books that Little Women by Luzume Alcott, an amazing story, but not fantasy. So there's that. Um, my husband loved the Redwall series, but he's like a major fantasy reader and came from a huge family of readers, and they read all of the Redwall series. But that's a good fantasy series as well for children. But yeah, I would say it's tough for me to recommend. Bye, Ken. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Cleopatra, A Life. Oh, cool. Nice. Cleopatra. That'd be a way cool read. It's so sweet. What the Wind Knows. Yes. Amazing. Oh, that's awesome, Milton. I'm so flattered. Thank you. Romance is the best. I love reading specifically about the powerful women rulers in history. Wow. Yeah. I would love to read more about that. So Cleopatra, A Life. I'll have to look that up because that sounds really good. It's getting really late in the evening here. Congrats on 1,000. Okay, thank you so much, Berna. Thank you for being here. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. It's why every book ends in a huge plot twist. Nice, nice. That's awesome. Genre. I can't get into a sci-fi. Yeah, I haven't really given sci-fi a fair shot. I don't know if I've read any sci-fi, honestly. But I still like hearing about it. Tamora Pierce. Okay, there you go, Tyler. Tamora Pierce is absolutely the fantasy author I would recommend for a 10-year-old. Okay. There is a recommendation from the crowd. Since I could come up with hardly anything. Sorry about that. The Night Brothers, middle grade series. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Austen is a middle grade series that I have seen recommended by several people I really trust. Nice. Oh, thank you, Krista. Thank you so much. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Glad you could make it. The Septimus Heap series by Angie Sage is also a fantastic middle grade fantasy. Okay. Well, there you go, Tyler. There's another one. Okay, well, anyways, I think I said I was gonna close off the live at 2, so I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining in and for all of the support I've had so far on this channel. It's been amazing. Like I cannot thank you guys enough, and it's just been so fun to buddy read and to get to know everyone and to make friends. And that was my main goal of starting this channel in the first place, was I just really wanted to connect with others about this huge passion of mine. And so yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again. But yeah, with all of that being said, I'll just end the broadcast now. But yeah, thanks again. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.